Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Zwift Community Live broadcast of the Zwift Racing League presented by WTRL. I'm Nathan Guerra. Dave Towle is next to me, and we're going to be covering the Americas race number 6 in the Greatest London Flat TTT Team Time Trial today. It's going to be women's C category for the Americas, as well as the men's or open for the C's as well. We will be covering across the A, B's, and D's as much as we can, especially when it comes to the data that's coming on through for us as the time trials happen throughout the event out there today. So we're out on Greatest London Flat. The ladies are just starting. I do want to see if we can show kind of a cool little look into the pens, actually, to give everybody an idea of how these starts happen. It's not something we always get to see, actually. And I just happened upon it kind of actually just a moment ago in all of my kind of hacking in order to get the broadcast images in TTT mode. It's been interesting. But Dave, we had a lot of interesting chatter actually throughout the day today, especially in EMEA. And just wondered what were your thoughts in between the interim? Like, did you think about like what was that all about today with the team time trial? What's your takeaway from it so far?
Well, it was an interesting. I agree. Really, really an interesting afternoon of racing. The evolution is what I thought about, to tell you the truth. When we were back in the very beginning, how little we knew and how advanced the techniques. And the other thing that I thought about too was that, especially when you're looking at the C's, which is where we've been focusing, is that you have to remember that not everybody is out racing to win an Olympic gold medal. That there's going to be folks like, and that's, I think, the level where B's, I think it really, the balance tilts over to really competitive. But when you're in the C's, they can be competitive without having to take things so ultra seriously out there and just to get together with 5 other folks and have a good time racing the course. You know what I mean? So it's all really what you make it. But that's a good point, Nathan. It was definitely a crazy afternoon.
Well, we are live on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Go ahead and jump into the comments. We do have them up in front of us as well. We are able to bring some of those questions and comments in on a day like the team time trial. Sometimes there is a little extra space, especially some explanation around this, because it's not your regular points or scratch race. And a lot of times people do get into Zwifting purely through a scratch race. First across the line, let's see who it is, what's the times, and first through 10th or 20th or whatever it might be. And then there's points racing, and then there's team time trials. And we have all these different formats, actually, that you can experience on Zwift. So sometimes, though, for some individuals, like, well, how does this work? Wait a second. We're all in a pen. And back in the day, and I'm going to show this, actually, back in the day. But, like, the truth is now we have a mode. And if you're in the event, actually, you would see this differently. If I were to click this join event button in the lower left-hand corner right now, we would actually go into the pens and there would be a conveyor belt that we are being sitting on. I'm not going to enter that mode because that would change the way the images come through for us. So we're not going to do that. But as you can see, everybody on these teams, Dave, they're all lined up.
So cool.
Isn't that awesome? Ready to go. Standing, and up above, instead, we don't see it because we're not in the event, but this little timer board would be counting down only your time to go. It wouldn't be actually saying
like
the time
now,
for the whole event.
And it looks like that's Aeonian, I believe, that is.
Everyone's slightly moving forward, next. So there's a slight little move forward, and everybody's moving up to be the next to go. But ATP just took off, so we're back. We're jumping in with them real quickly. But I mean, I could get us right back into the pens if we wanted to, and give you an idea of exactly what that would look like taking off. What was kind of cool, and I might have a replay of it, was watching one of the other teams take off just a few minutes ago. It was actually kind of fun to see them and the way that they took off, and the red fire socks going off underneath them was just absolutely awesome. We'll see if I can find that section in just a moment to watch them take off from the pens. But it's going to be a good day of racing, Dave. This is a committed group, that's for sure. There's a lot of ladies here showing up, 59 in the pens so far.
Fire socks. I could see that being a code word for let's go get them, right? Like at the start line, screaming out fire socks in a guttural yell as you hit the course. ATP looks really good out here to start things off, that's for sure. Let's talk about the details. This might be the perfect team time trial course that we're racing on here today. Greatest London Flat. Got it all, and it certainly would be the perfect place to have a team time trial global championship, which we basically are in a lot of ways here today. The 6th race of 6. It's been quite a season to get to this point. The last time trial that they had was in France. So here we are back in probably the most contested time trial course, team time trial course that exists. This has been used with my WTRL on Thursdays many, many times. So, all right, picking them up as they start to pick up some serious speed out on course here, ATP Swarm. It's 31K out here today, Nathan. So we'll find a worthy winner.
I just have to show this shot just because I like it so much. But there's the takeoff, the group, and you can see that those fire socks kicking off there. Absolutely, I don't know. Like, there's something about that little image of them, taking off and having that like first boost into your team time trial to try and get the best time that you possibly can.
Interesting that not every rider's had fire socks.
Well,
it must be their weight.
There might be a thing. A lot of times, first of all, getting fire socks, you got to be a pretty high level, right? Like that is a high level.
They don't
Zwifter.
Hand those out to level 14 Zwifters, do they?
No. I believe is it level 60 or 50? It's somewhere. I forgot what the exact
I didn't realize it
was.
Was that high.
Oh, it's real high.
So that's very select.
Yeah.
Well, then the fact that a good 2/3 of that team had fire socks speaks to their experience.
Yeah, very experienced teams in this Americas for sure. We actually put out a little Instagram post over on Zwift Community Live, speaking of experienced teams. And Towle Irish from earlier today from Rave, we said, who are you rooting for? Towle says she's rooting for ATP. Well, you can't really go wrong with ATP in some ways because ATP has like 4 or 5 teams or something across Americas. One of the most popular
chance,
right? Yeah. But they're doing real well. We'll see how they go today. Like, they might not always be the outright winners in some of the races, Dave, but they show up and have these sudden like, whoa, where did that come from sometimes? And so it'd be exciting to see if that's what ended up playing out for us today for ATP. I am really quickly going to bring in the current standings for this league right now, and we'll see how things are. Let's start with the C category because that is what we are going to be covering. So let's jump right on in. Coalition Eclipse at the top, Dave.
Perfect. In the season of C's, it's nice that that's where we're wrapping things up as well. Coalition Eclipse has had a tremendous run so far, as they sit on top of the table with 96 points. ATP Racing Hive, that's our first of the ATP teams. They're in second with 94, and that's going to be close. ATP is going to be looking for a little bit of help. They need one other team to beat Coalition here tonight if they're going to have a chance to take the season-long title. That is entirely possible, not necessarily likely. Synergy Ignite there in third with 89 points. They got their own battle in their hands with ATP Racing Swarm sitting on 86 points in fourth. It's Aeonian and the Super Chicas. They're in fifth with 71 points. Very close there with this group now. 70 points for Herd of Otters. 69 points for both AHDRL Cherry Bombs and the Dino Sassosaurus. 66 points in ninth for ATP Racing Beehive and Epic Pixies in 10th with 65 points. So it's a lot of balance throughout the season. We've got what I would say are 3 distinct battles going on. The first being between Coalition and ATP Racing Hive for the overall season championship here for the C's. The next is going to be for that third and final spot on the podium that Synergy Ignite holds right now, but they're going to need to have a strong ride to hold off the Racing Swarm. And then the third battle will be who can find the top 5 amongst Super Chicas, Otters, Cherry Bombs, Sassosauruses.
Wow.
And so those are 3
right
really
there.
distinct battles.
That's really close, isn't it, Dave?
There's a lot to race for tonight.
I like it. We can really play those storylines out in front of us here. Let's see what they'll play them out for us.
They
want to see some
they
good
can
racing.
Handle that. Yeah.
They can handle that. If anybody can, it's this crowd. Well, let's take a quick look at how things are right now. Nothing yet. We got nothing. This is the leaders right now. They're only at 6K. And is it a 6K? Do I need glasses, Dave? You want to send
I
me
do
some
too.
prescription?
So it's 6, 15, and 24, I believe. It's
16 and
actually
24. I think it's
16.
16 or it's 8. It's either 8 or 6. Chat's going to help me out
You
here. Oh,
have a
man. I've been
pretty good
riding without
feel, but
glasses on for too much, and the wind is taking out my eyes, I think. All right. So Phillips here on
it's
the front.
8.
It's
Sorry, but
8.
that
Is
is
it?
8.
Okay,
Yeah.
it is 8.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Pothier, Lutz, it's going to be Hop, Clark, Palmer. Coalition's flying. They're looking really good, actually. When we first jumped in with them, I did notice that they had quite the straight line going. Everybody seemed to be exactly where they needed to be. I do see that Phillips is making her way backwards now at this point, as Hayden Lutz now makes their way to the front. 4.1 watts per kilogram on the front, 44 kilometers per hour currently. But the Hive are only 35 seconds down. They are on a mission today, Dave.
Yeah, this is going to be incredibly fun. Let me shout out the Coalition ladies. They come into the final race of the season here after not a perfect run, but darn close. And this is Katie Pothier. There's a bunch of Americans on this team and a Dutch and Canadian rider, Kaylee Palmer, another American, KJ Phillips. Great job all season, KJ. You mentioned Paige Hayden at Lutz. Saskia Hopp is the Dutch rider. And then Coalition has a Canadian as well. Everybody needs one. Susan Clark on this team. So they look like you got to have a Canadian on your team, right?
Everyone needs one. I love it. That's the top secret sauce. Is everybody has a Canadian and a little bit of maple syrup, Dave.
Cayenne maple syrup. So this team, though, Nathan, looks really well drilled, don't they? There's a reason why they're on top of the table, and I have a feeling if we went and looked at what goes on Thursdays, looks to me like Coalition must spend some time with WTRL too.
Yeah, 100%. They obviously been doing their homework, but only 34 seconds back now. They're closing quickly, as you can see. We do have Baron on the front. It looks like ATP Hive is here, and a little bit of separation, but nothing to be worried about or anything. I don't think this is actually an accident. I think that they're just really well drilled at this point as they make their way underneath the Prudential Ride London banner and on to their way to the expansion that came to London quite a while ago, which is the greatest London flat back roads. There'll be a little bit of an uphill gradient they'll be looking forward to as they take a turn onto that. And then there'll be a little bit of a downhill into the underneath a bridge and uphill into the back. I would almost call it residential area of Greatest London Flat. I mean, it seems like those are some flats out there. When I say flats, I mean, what's the term for that in UK, in British English?
For an apartment building?
Yeah. Would it be flat?
Is
it flat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say that would be more an urban thing. It's a little, I mean, yes, to answer your question, although there's a lot of range there, isn't there?
I think there's probably plenty. But wow, a little bit of a snake
what's up with
movement going
what's
there.
going on with the steering there? So
little sidewinder. There's no steering on for any of these riders, but they all did a little sidewinder.
But you know what? They saw a turtle on the road. Probably.
That must be it. Lots of turtles downtown London.
Yeah, they didn't have time to save it, but they didn't want to squash it. So, yeah,
they'll be going underneath the Flamme Rouge. It's not the actual Flamme Rouge in just a second. And then they will turn 180 degrees, and there'll be a right-hand turn actually onto those back roads that we were just talking about. Pretty hotly contested so far between this Hive and Synergy team. Synergy, newer to the world of Zwift racing, at least for us in the last year or two. Good to see them really stepping things up. We got some comments prior to the Zwift Racing League starting this year, and they said after the first race, we got a few messages saying they were here to race, that's for sure. Highly competitive, great to see. A lot of Canadians, but it looks like for Canada, Dave, if it's all Canadians, they need one Dutch rather than one Canadian.
That helps, right? Right. You have to have a one like your goalie jersey, right? If everybody's one thing, you need one person another just to keep you honest. This team has Alicia Billingsley, Angie Quap, Jadine White, Jill the A team, and A spelled E-H, so homage to Canadian history. Sargentson. Let's see. Also there, as you said, they've got a Dutch rider. That's going to be Jose Smolders of the Synergy team, and Sonia Jobidon rounding out that synergy squad. They look fantastic.
Yeah, looking good. There it is, that little banner. It's not actually 1K to go for them. If they were going the other direction, it'll be 1K to go for them. And they will see that after another, what is it, 31K, Dave, correct? So they've got about
It is 31, right?
31K. So after another, if I do
Call
my
it
math right,
22.
22. Yeah, 22K. They'll
Right.
see that again going the other direction after climbing into Trafalgar Square. But they're going to hit the square in just a moment here and then take a right hand turn over to the back roads of London. Swarm are chasing them. So they're sandwiched between two ATP teams, essentially, is what's happening here, as they've got the Swarm and the Hive. So the Swarm are chasing the Hive at this point, but Synergy's in between them. They got to get by that.
It's almost impossible to not end up in an ATP sandwich out here with the representation that they've got. First checks coming in at 8K, 1147. So the ATP Racing Hive with an outstanding start out here today, 1206 for Coalition Eclipse. The team started based on their ranking coming into this final of 6 races. The top teams heading out first and working our way on down. And here we go, taking a look at a synergy squad that might not be in a perfect single line formation. It's kind of a hybrid formation that they're riding with now, a micro peloton in some ways, but not bad, I would say, Nathan. It might not be ideal as far as that single line goes, but they're getting the gist of it.
Yeah, looking pretty good. A little bit
More or
of a
less,
bunch
right?
up here, a little bit, but it's
Kind of a
pretty
double
good.
baseline, but yeah.
I
would and remembering that this isn't A plus Zwift Grand Prix. These are the C's. They're staying together. They're in a nice tight
I have to say though, Dave, some of the C's do it better than the Grand Prix. So I gotta say, some of them are pretty
play.
committed,
Absolutely. Right?
So
yeah, if you are completely committed to the technique, they might not go as fast as the A's, but they do it with more grace and style. Right?
Yeah, 100%. Sometimes you do see that where there is a well-drilled team that shows up, and you're like, "Where
they
did
really
this
know
come
how
from?"
to team time trial. Now, and this is really not bad. You know, again, the most important thing is that you don't have riders flying off the front or getting dropped off of the back, right? So that gets you 80% of your score is just going to be based really on staying together. As you refine your technique and start to understand the pacing, having your stronger riders taking longer pulls, not necessarily faster pulls. These are the sort of non-intuitive things that you have to learn, right, Nathan? I think the first one is that you're the best riders, the strongest riders on your team really have to learn how to apply that strength, which is, keeping the team moving along quickly, but not blowing them up, not dropping riders and having to recover from that, and just a yo-yo effect that goes on when everybody isn't on the same page. These ladies are on the same page, same book, same chapter, and they definitely are going to have a great ride today. Is it going to be enough to win? It's possible.
Rhino has just taken off on the right-hand side, as you can see. Zed Sun Dome are the next riders that will be jumping out. A couple of riders just joining the pens in the last minute. I can relate. Love to see it. Romanowski.
Pulling a Nathan.
Yeah,
right?
pulling a Nathan. Last second here. Got the kids settled. Okay, let's go. It's time to race our bikes is a lot of times what's going on there. Real quickly, as these guys are about to take off, let's take a look at their this is from the pens and the TT mode that we do get to see. But let's take a quick look. This is actually Alpha Collective at the top. That's the A category. But the TFC Force are at the top here. As they take off, let's go ahead and tell you what's going to be happening on the open side of things for the Open East Div 1C as Zed Sun takes off out onto course.
You can see that one team here, the Friday Criterium, has a nice advantage. After that, it really stacks up like cordwood through the middle part of this group. So that's going to be the huge battle, Nathan, is finding a podium spot. Herd of Trusty Steeds should be in pretty good shape, but even they have to worry about holding on to that second spot because the Dirty Dogs are right there in third, and they're going to feel the heat as Dirty Grinders in fourth, ZTBR Pataxo in fifth, Herd Mentality sitting in sixth. Now, there's a little bit of a gap from fifth down to 6. There's 6 points. So I do think the really fun part of the battle tonight for this group is going to be the herd of trusty steeds, Dirty Dogs and Dirty Grinders, all fighting for a spot on the podium. Herd Mentality, best name in the sport, in 6th. There are our Nuclear Rhinos in 7th. Crushing Limits 1 watt at a time in 8th. Are our Rowdy Rhinos in 9th. And then Zed Sunderdome in 10th here. In what looks like quite a season for the C's. TFC X-Force looking to put a cherry on top of the cake here. Let's go a little bit deeper with 30 Watt Sky High. They're sitting in 11th. This is a massive league. Herd of Furious Foals in 12th. OTECs sitting on 37 points in 13th. Zed Sun Bojovnis in 14th. Am I missing? Does that mean something to you, Nathan?
I don't know, but it
that.
says, yeah. But in the pens, I actually saw a name that had that in there in the name.
Oh,
actually,
maybe that's a last name.
Yeah, so Bojo was in the, well, no, Bojo was like in their
Bojo,
team name.
right.
Yeah, so interesting enough. Yeah.
Team Velos C1 in 15th, Fiasco C in 16th, Gavia 88 Academy, our Costa Rican friends in 17th, Coalition Enigma in 18th, and then EX and Psychopaths in 19th. So that's where it stands after 5 of the 6 races. We're getting stuck in right now. Greatest London flat. This is our team time trial course, and looks like we've got 5 teams still waiting to start here.
Danny Enzo, TikTok Phenom. Good to see him jumping in with us again. Back over to the ladies racing. We'll get some updates on their current times and take a look across some more of the teams on the women's side of things as they make their way onto the main back roads as we head over to the ATP Racing Swarm. Let's see how their times are starting to play out. We do have times all the way back to the Cherry Bombs, the Super Chicas, the Swarm, Eclipse, Heart of Otters. The Hive are having a great race. So here's where things stand as we, wow, a little bit of a gap here for Swarm, but pressing on, trying to chase things down. But this is as it stands within almost a minute of each other in the top 7.
Look at this, 2 seconds separating our first 2 teams at that 8K check. ATP Racing Hive on 11:47, 11:49 there. So virtually tied as they come through. What's going on with the very unswarm-like, what we're seeing right now as they have one rider. I think they're just resetting things here. Let's actually...
chill out on the attack. You're going to lose your stinger, AB.
Unfortunately, that last 30 seconds was not what...
I mean, I wonder now if some of the other riders had sauce, there might have been a little bit of a draft still for them, perhaps. Like sometimes you can see like it's off the front, it is a little downhill, but still there was a gap there that caused a little bit of mayhem. Now the roll through's coming in here, number 6.
And you see, even for the stronger riders there, that it is really hard once you find yourself with that dangling 15 meters off the front. You don't want to be there. It's hard to replace and reset, isn't it? Because it's, as you back off a little bit, the tendency, it almost seems to be backing off just a little too much for a moment. Then next thing you know, the group goes past you and you're back into that yo-yo effect. They did a pretty good job, I'd have to say, of coming back from that.
Yeah, an amazing job. Great job here, it looks like, to make this happen. Ashley Blows, that's going to be AB, I believe. She'll be number 2 on the rider list for them. So she probably goes second. Ashley Blows. She's riding for ATP. Africa Battle is out here as well. She's currently on the front here.
They use a classic technique with the numbering. I would imagine that they've got a steady voice with their DS.
I think so. I think you're correct there. Now. Yeah, super dialed. And I'm doing some pretty good guessing here, I think, across all of them. Chrissy O is going to be number 4, also coming to the USA. They all have the USA flag, so you got to really know how to like decipher what's actually happening here between them all. 3.0, I might have gotten these two mixed up, but off the back now, actually 3.0. So I have a feeling that's going to be one. Let's see if I can figure out who this rider is. But now they did let this rider go, though, it looks like.
There's an insanely high number of athletes who have the initials AB on this team. Ashley Blows, Amy Blake, Africa Battle. All of them
Good
are
point.
AB. Yeah. And then
Yeah.
you've got Allie Coulter as well on the Beehive team. As we were saying, Nathan, it looks to me like is it 3 ATP teams or 4 ATP teams that we have out here? Three
One,
ATP.
2, 3. 3 in the C category from what I can see here.
And each one of them started their full 6 riders. So 18 ATP racing riders out here tonight across 3 different teams. Very impressive by that
Yeah,
squad.
and on the odds here, it's a good point, Dave. And we didn't take a look, but we also have the combative Betties actually, and I definitely want to let everybody know, like, we missed them on the start here, sitting in 11th at 20 league points right now. So they're also out on course.
Ah,
And so amongst 11 teams, if you did the math, Tennille Irish on her bet on ATP is almost sitting at a 25% chance, a little bit better than 25% chance of getting ATP right as far as who she's rooting for.
yeah, I'm wondering what have we ever had four? Yeah, we probably have. There's 4 teams from one, 4 squads, all from one team. That's in one race. That doesn't seem imaginable. It probably has happened out there somewhere. All of our split times have come in now, and you can see that it remains. Well, it's 10 seconds effectively that you could throw a blanket over our first 4 teams: ATP Racing Hive, Synergy, Ignite, then ATP Racing Swarm at 12:05, 12:06 at the first check for Coalition Eclipse. Now, what's interesting is if this keeps trending out this way, there's going to be some really happy teams outside of Coalition Eclipse. But now we see the advantage starting to grow here. ATP Racing Hive, Nathan, look at this, 23-17. So what was the difference there? So it went from 20 seconds, not quite doubling that, from 8 to 16K, but they're starting to pour it on. Talking about ATP Racing Hive right now, as they do have the fast time at the middle part of the course. They've gone, well, I would say that they're having their day at this point.
Looking, wow,
Sit,
23-17. ATP
yeah,
Hive
really quick.
flying. Absolutely fine. The big question is going to be, what is Synergy going to bring through at this point? We'll bring it back to the Otters and the Aeonian team here to give some highlights for them in just a second. I just want to move forward and get an idea of what's going on with this team Synergy and how they're pulling this off, because they're in the run right now. The next big check mark is going to be the 16K here.
They have all 6 together. They look like they're riding right on their schedule here. Very impressive performance. Nathan, would you do me a favor and show us the season standings one more time, just to reference that against how the ladies are doing out here tonight, so we can see after the 5 races, as it is Coalition Eclipse there with ATP Racing Hive. So right now, ATP Racing Hive, Nathan, if they can just get some help from ATP Racing Swarm here and get them over the top of Eclipse as well, ATP Racing Hive could be riding their way into a season championship. But they can't quite do it alone, which is very, very unique to this experience here in the ZRL. Is even if they get the 20 points, if Coalition Eclipse gets the 19 points that correspond to a second place ride today, that's not going to be enough. They need them down in third if they are able. And again, it's always a little hard to be speaking from ATP Racing Hive's perspective, because Coalition Eclipse would be like, hey, that's not how it's going to go. We're going to win, and we'll take the 20 points and it won't be an issue, right? So it's all about looking at possibilities out here right now, and that certainly is one, and that's really where we're going to feel the heat out here tonight as well, is can one of these ATP racing teams step up and help their sisters out?
Oh, that's a big question, actually, and a good look there, Dave, as that ATP across all of their teams here can have an impact across all of the league here with how many teams they got. New checks coming in. 20, as you can see, it is going to be still 23-17 and in the lead now by a good margin over Synergy Ignite is going to be ATP Racing Hive. So that's starting to be decided here in the second half of this race as to whether or not that was, well, as far as the answer goes. Coalition falling backwards here. Dave, ATP Racing Hive might have the race today that actually changes this league board up at the end of the day.
And this is not happening in many leagues around the globe, to tell you the truth. I'm going to say, as would be normal, it's, teams going into the final race. In some cases, we saw 10, 12-point advantages. This is just two. There haven't been a whole lot of changes on top of leaderboards, nor would you expect there to be. We come in with the top team. Generally, they've already had to weather one team time trial in France going back a few weeks ago. So if you are able to come from second and overhaul the leading team out here, that's an exceptional effort, and it's really fun to watch, and it's possibly happening for us right here with our women's C's. This is going to go right down to the line today, Nathan.
It really is. It's good to see. Loving this competitiveness amongst this women's crowd. 59 starters in total. We've got 11 teams racing, and right now we do have the top spot up for grabs. ATP Racing Hive might be able to make it happen tonight. That's the big bet. 23-17, and they've showed up with a monster team out here today. Coalition, though, they might still have something to say about that. They've got, what is it going to be, about 10.5K to go the second half of the course, and can they ramp things up to bring back some time? It'd be a monster ask for them to be able to do so. 30 seconds or so, Dave, they got to bring back against ATP Racing Hive. And, well, they got to beat Synergy, though. That's really what they got to focus on, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. They don't really... I wouldn't blow the team up trying to get Hive. Focus on Synergy Ignite. That's who you need to get. So you don't need to win to win. You need to finish second, if that makes any sense.
You don't need to win to win.
No, but to win the season, which is really the whole enchilada, that's why we're here. They don't have to win the event tonight. They just can't be further back than second. So that is not a lot of room there to play around with, but it's certainly a lot more doable because we're already looking at a 20-second advantage from ATP Racing Hive back to Synergy Ignite. It's certainly looking at this point, if you read the tea leaves, it looks like Hive is going to do what they need to do, which was the first piece of this puzzle, Nathan, is that ATP Racing Hive needs to get the 20 points and win this race tonight. That's looking very possible.
Yeah, 100%. We'll see how this goes here. I'm excited to see. This is a good race. Either way, I'm really excited with how they have played this. Synergy, though, is here. Only 10 seconds back, I believe.
Yeah, and they're not panicking.
Really? No, they're doing a great job. Really great job here. All together, it's going to be... This second half of the course is going to be everything, Dave. It's so great because this is everything that was talked about in the deep dive that we did about it's your total effort across the whole course. Earlier today, we did see, was it the K... I'm going to forget the name.
The pink team, the
pink team, KGV or KGC. It was KGV, I believe. They went out super hot and it was like, we gotta go, we gotta win this today. And it was a great go against KRT. It was a great go against them, but they faded in the back end of the course. The back end of this course is the telltale between what's going to happen in this C, ladies.
100%. I mean, what we talked about a lot this afternoon was that would you rather be the hunter or the hunted? You're going to feel faster being chased or chasing. And we really broke that down from a lot of different angles. And it comes down to you do you, right? Your mental mindset going into a time trial or team time trial is you're best to stick with who you are. Now, the dynamic of being in a team, it's really fascinating when you look at all the things of how do you go faster out here, having a pacing schedule, having a great DS. And I think really it all starts there, Nathan, coming in with the plan and having riders that are going to be attentive and listening, following direction out there. First off, everybody's got to be all in, clear eyes, full heart. But from that point on, it is organization and, effectively using the resources that you have at the right moment. So synergy still in this battle. We do get another time check coming up at 24K that'll tell us a lot more. Filling in now back a little bit deeper here. There's the Dino Sasasaurus is in with a 25.08. They're just 2 seconds behind. Aeonian Super Chicas at 25.06. Bit of a jump then up to the AHDRL Cherry Bombs. They're in 7th right now. ATP Racing Beehive sitting in 6th. Herd of Otters in 5th. But here I think is, Nathan, where it really gets interesting. Coalition Eclipse at 23.45. They're still only 8 seconds behind at that check. What are we going to see at 24, the third and final check before the finish? I would anticipate, Nathan, we see something pretty similar to what we see right now, maybe 5 to 15 seconds separating third and fourth out here. ATP Racing Hive. Well, I don't expect to see them fade.
Real quickly, I want to this battle. We're going to come right back to this battle. This is absolutely awesome to see.
Yeah, this is the race,
ladies. This really is the race. I want to highlight something because we are seeing some chatter coming through in chat as well. I do know that a lot of you are like, "Hey, there's other races going on. There's A, there's B, there's C category," and this kind of almost like warms my heart a little bit to see this. Dave, over on Twitch right now, I don't know if I've ever seen this many Zwifts. Look at how involved the Americas is across how many people are streaming their point of view. We've got in here like so many across the men's, the women's. C, A, Annie Poland is in here. I believe we've got Coalition. This is within one of the races we're watching right now. I mean, this is so cool to see. If you want to get a view across any of these other categories, there's plenty of live streamers right now showing off. This is all I'm seeing. Every one of these, I don't think one of these is not a TTT ZRL. Maybe one, maybe only one. Anna's here. I don't know if she's going to give us an ad right off the bat. Here's Anna Russell smashing it for Riot right now. Amazing job. So I just gotta give that shout out. Great way if you want to go and support the community as well. Head on over to Twitch. Search that Zwift category. It'll come up right here, and you're going to be able to see all the live channels at this moment right now. Go throw them some follows, turn on your notifications, and you will be able to get plenty of updates on all things live streaming when it comes to Zwift. Great to see. Good job to the community. Big shout out. And that has developed so much over time. So much.
I absolutely love seeing Anna Russell there with all the encouragement that she's getting. Do you see that great pull, strong pull? Even your wife is giving her shout outs.
Was Gabby in there? I didn't see that. That's great. I didn't.
She threw an emoji at her.
So good.
That's fun. That really is so good. That is what our community is all about. Well, and they're also all about slaying themselves because these riders are digging incredibly deep out here right now. Team time trial is always going to get the most out of you. No questions. Everybody tries to be there for the rest of the squad. So as we go to split screens out here, that's what tonight's all about. The Americas, the women starting a little bit earlier, a little further up course. Synergy was going to be one of the first teams that we picked up on, and they are in a real battle tonight. As final points that are being distributed are going to decide exactly where we place you after 6 weeks of fantastic racing.
We'll get the time updates here in just a moment, probably about 30 seconds to a minute before we do get the time updates for the open category, and we'll start taking a look at those. As the ladies are finished up the second half of their course, we'll take a look also at more of that top 5, the top 10 battles that are happening within the ladies. The big question on the ladies' side so far to be answered, though, is that 96 to 94 points for ATP Racing Hive versus Coalition Eclipse. Whether or not Synergy is going to fit themselves right in the middle of all that. ATP Racing Swarm also playing a little bit of a battle there. Aeonian Super Chicas, the Herd of Otters, the Cherry Bombs, as well as Dinos. We're going to go back and take a look at that battle in probably the next 5 or 10 minutes, though. Let's jump in with the men and see what is happening over there in that open/men's category as the Steeds are now making their way to the second half of the course. We also have TFC who went out first. Deadpool on the front, long time viewer, always hanging out in chat. Good to see him pushing here. 350 at the front.
All right, tonight on our TFC team, they brought the A squad: David Farr, Jason Walters, Joe Lolio, Mike Swaya, and from bicycleattorney.com, and as you mentioned, Ryan Deadpool, along with Tim Popert. So this is going to be TFC that we're looking at. They came into this one on top of the table, and they're putting together another, I wouldn't say dominating ride. However, Nathan, I mean, they are our leaders,
Is that
but
actual
how
Bike
about her?
Law? Is that the actual Instagram account? Bike Law? Like,
So bicycle attorney and bike law are
okay,
different
two
but
different things.
similar.
Thank you, thank you. I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
sure
Yep,
there. Thanks. I needed to because very cool to see if they're hanging
it's
out here with
important.
us in the
Yeah.
world of
Oh,
Zwift
I
racing.
agree. I agree. I really want to make sure that all cyclists have good representation if they ever need it. That's for sure. Um, and I hope you never need it. So, herd of trusty steeds, Nathan, with 22:43, they are right there. They're going to give TFC Experts a run for their money tonight. And you know what? I bet you TFC Experts doesn't mind. A good team time trial requires a good team to race against, and that's exactly what we've got. How many times have you heard us say that steel sharpens steel? So, there we go to the top of the table now. This, we did look at this a little bit earlier with these points. So thanks for refreshing us, Nathan. As TFC Exports, it would take a major catastrophe. They'd almost have to DNF to not win out here. That's not quite true. They're going to need to finish in the top 10. But herd of trusty steeds, their biggest concern, Nathan, in my mind, I think they're a little more worried about the dirty dogs than they would be TFC right now, trying to hold on to second on the season.
Yeah, that's a good point. Herd of trusty steeds up against the dirty dogs. How are the dirty dogs going so far? Let's. I'm gonna take this down here and see herd of trusty
They're
steeds.
chasing dirty
Dirty
grinders.
dogs. Yeah, it looks like dirty grinders. Actually, the question is, are the dogs and the grinders going to come down to a little bit of a battle at the end of the day? Hold on a second. Let's bring this back up here because 83 to 81, there's a little battle in house here between the dirt teams. Dads Inside Riding Trainers are battling it out. 20, let's see here, the time check so far though. 2305, 2302, and 23 flat. Herd mentality, dirty dogs, dirty grinders. That's a battle for the fourth place right now. The RR Nuclear Rhinos got a 7-second gap coming into the 16K marker here. 24K going to be coming up. We're looking at TFC right now, but we're going to move around on course and see how the formations are currently going between them because that's going to tell us a lot, I think. Here's the dogs. How are they going here, Dave? It looks like 4 left. That's right. They just had to drop off Jim, it looks like. Jay Beast from
Jim
TFC
Dog.
Export off the back there as well. So looks like 4 left, Dave. That's not a lot of firepower in the back end of this course.
With 10K to go, sub-ideal, but doable. This is going to be where they really have to bear down on this one. Again, this is the Dirty Dogs that we're in with right now. They sitting in sixth here at 2302. That sounds worse than it actually is, Nathan, with only 28 seconds between them and the RR Rowdy Rhinos with 10K to go. There's still a lot that could happen out here. What's amazing is that TFC Exports is not the top team. Look at this. The Rowdy Rhinos coming in with the 2230 at check two to be our fastest team at that moment, fastest by 5 seconds. The Rhinos are throttling it out here today, Nathan.
That's not the nuclear rhinos. That's the rowdy rhinos. Like, wait a second.
Did I say
rowdy...
nuclear? I meant
no,
rowdy.
no, 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 no,
Yep.
no, 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 no. I'm saying that the
This
nuclear
is crazy.
rhinos were in 7th. The rowdy rhinos were in 9th. They're the 9th placed team, Dave.
So, Nathan, I really want to make this point. I just had Martin reach out a second ago. How many times did we talk about the Rowdy Rhinos on Thursdays? That's WTRL Day. World Tactical Racing League has been holding team time trials for many years at this point. They've had thousands of events, and the teams that have put in efforts at those events have a great advantage when it comes to team time trialing on nights like this in the ZRL. So right now, Nathan, at this point in the ZRL, we actually grew from the previous round one last year. 16% growth comparing apples to apples. There are 16,000 300 unique racers in this round this year. And 28% of all of the ZRL round one racers are brand new to Zwift racing. They have never been seen in a Zwift
Yeah, that's
race
not
event
just
before.
new to ZRL. That's new to
Exactly.
never raced a Zwift event before. 28% of 16,300. Yeah,
of them.
wow.
Right.
Wow.
4,075 of them, basically. That is incredible. And Martin, thanks again for all you do. We were talking about it earlier today. What a great season this has been. The mix has been tremendous. It feels like this was really well thought through. Nathan, I don't know about your thoughts. I won't speak for you, but I like having 2 of the 4 events being team time trials. I think that's the right ratio. It works for me.
I might go with one.
Fan.
I might go with one, but
yeah,
it's opinion.
That.
It's opinion. I was thinking about it on my ride today. Actually, I went out for a ride between the broadcasts, and I was literally thinking about just that. And I was like, I wonder what I would like more. And I thought, maybe one-time trial to finish things out or middle of the season. But I can see how this is a really cool way to finish things out as a race of truth as a team too. And I think, for me, I have this, like, I'm a very idealist type person. And so I like the ideal of, like, maybe the way it would play out is in like what's entertaining, what's fun for me or whatever. And like, I also feel though that there may be a more community feeling that brings people back and gets people to kind of like build on what they're currently doing. And I think I think that may.
I'm looking at it historically too.
Yeah.
Like that. The team time trials really help build. We wouldn't be here without them. Is
True.
A good way to put it.
True. Good point.
Yeah, and if you just had one, it's interesting, and it's a fair discussion. I mean, just like with the Grand Tours, the Giro d'Italia adding a lot more time trial kilometers, which is attracting riders that like time trials, or that's their specialty, and that's going to be their secret sauce in a lot of ways this year, is by having these team time trials. And that's why, so yes, Nathan, I can't argue with you at all on anything that you said, but I do believe that a lot of these riders do enjoy the team time trial. I think that, but I can see both sides of that coin.
Coalition going to be finishing up here on the ladies' side of things real quickly. Going to jump across as they do finish up. Don't want to lose the.
So they. I just want to get back to that storyline, because for them it really came down to the ATP squads out here. Coalition, it didn't look like they were going to win the day, but if they went further down than second, they had a big problem. So that was really one of the more intriguing race stories that we had developed out here tonight. This is their team that should be the champion team today. Is it going to be enough for them to take the season, though?
Yeah, Coalition just crossing the line just a few seconds ago. So this is going to be most likely fast enough to take the day out here. But yeah, will it take the season is the big question. At the top was Coalition. Can Coalition hold on? Coalition did a better job at the second half, didn't they, Dave?
They sure did.
They brought some time back.
Very well.
Yeah,
a lot.
They went from it might hold on.
Second. As a matter of fact, it looks like most likely they probably have. We'll have to let everybody ride this one out. But I have a feeling Coalition did what they needed to do out here, which speaks to their depth.
That's a big. So remember what we talked about earlier, the psychology of it too. Did we get an answer from them just now? Are you being chased or are you chasing? I don't know which one that would have been though. Which one was that?
Crazy is both in a weird way.
Yeah, you're right.
They had pressure from every side on them.
Yeah, that's what you need. You need to be refined like a diamond. That's what it really is.
Right, exactly. It's like. Yeah, what a fantastic way to wrap up this season. And I mean, it's not over, but as they brought back so much time and clearly had the momentum, Nathan, in some ways, if we'd ran that race for another 5K, they might have caught ATP Racing Hive.
True.
They were coming for them.
They were going. Yep. They had, and seems like they timed things really well. We don't have the official times just yet. Well, actually, we do. We do have a couple of times. I can start bringing them in.
Nathan,
go ahead.
Remember earlier today when I was saying, if you have a schedule and you're on your schedule, stick to your schedule. Don't let other teams take you out of that. I think Coalition might sort of have personified that today. They rode their race, it looks to me.
Yep, 100%. Great point there, Dave. Looking here real quickly as we do have some results coming in. These are the first two across the line. Synergy still about to cross here. 46-41 is the time that they came in with. So it does look like Synergy, I think, are going to hold on to their third place as we stand. But there are some teams. Whoa! Wait! Wow. Whoa! Swarm.
So that's ATP.
Just fly. I mean, for the finish line
they're
too.
Standing still.
Africa comes flying through. What a statement made by ATP Swarm, swarming the finish line.
That's what you call a rush to the line. Did they split the team? Not bad. Not bad at all.
No, it'll be okay.
Africa, you are my hero. That's the kind of rider I want finishing races on my team time trial team, Nathan.
The couple of rides they had to drop off to make this happen. Coalition,
which is
Palmer.
Fine.
Yep, totally fine.
As long as they had fourth wheel with them. That's actually, ideal.
Wow.
Aeonian, Super Chicas.
Ooh, what's happening here? Bragg. Has to get back on terms. Super Chicas, bring it back. Trudy at the front here, backing off a little.
So this is ATP showing you the class that they have. They're just kind of gone off the gas for a moment. They didn't go completely panic mode. Bragg's going to ride back up into this wheel.
Here come the otters. Here comes some otters. Here comes some otters. Dave.
Nothing sounds more helpful than a gaggle of otters, does it?
Oh my goodness. Well, this is an interesting situation here because one rider's dropping back to assist Bragg to get her to the line as quickly as possible.
Credit.
That's going to be Dina. Great move there. Interesting here.
Dina
now the
gets
otters.
It. Dina gets it is a good way to put it. She knew exactly what she's doing. She had a teammate in trouble. She sent a lifeline back there. So as I was saying, no shade being thrown, but those two ladies up the road, they can come across the line, but they won't get their time until
I think Dina's strong enough that she can probably pull up
all back together.
Trudy. Yeah, I think so. I think that's why they sent her back. I have a feeling that's exactly why they sent her back.
Look at that, huh? So these teams generally have role players, Nathan, I would think. They know each other so well. These ladies have been, in many cases here, this isn't their 10th race together. This is their 50th race together.
So let's just dissect this as the otters come in. What's happening here, Dave, with
I'm
this?
not going to dissect an otter. There's no way.
Gosh, Dave. 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th.
What is this, biology class?
Okay, right? And looking at this, the Super Chicas that we were just looking at, Dave, they were in 5th coming in, right?
Wow.
And so they are currently in 6th with the otters maybe making a jump here. Oh, wow. So exactly what's happening in front of us, Dave. I'm going to put them side by side so we can really see what's happening. This is the situation.
So Super Chicas have an otter problem is a good way to put it. If the otters finish ahead of them, they'll end up in the top 5. We talked about the 3 distinct battles going on out here. The fight between ATP Racing Hive and Coalition Eclipse for the overall season championship, the battle to be in the top 3, our virtual podium, and then the top 5 spots. And it looks like Herd of Otters are giving Aeonian a real run for their money out here, Nathan.
Yep, and Cherry Bombs are right in the middle of that also, it looks like. With a 38-22, they could still put in a little work here. If Aeonian are able to kind of bring this together here in the last few K, wow, look at the Fire Sox kicking off. Love to see it. Little bit of a push there toward the end. Rose there, I think it is, that kicked off the Fire Sox at the end here, coming out of Canada, going to hold on to Dorothy's wheel. Sarah, Vicky kicking it up as well, too. A few more Fire Sox there. Was that going to be Dorothy kicking to the line? Great to see. Massive result here for the Otters as they cross the line. Great job to these ladies. Aeonian chasing them down, knowing that this is going to be Courtney and Bragg here to the line. They're going to be seeing how things play out for them at the end of the day. And now we're back with the Vision
Alex
Pacer.
And Tash. Yep.
We'll get back in with them in just a second. We'll jump across to the men's as we get our images fixed here. Apologies about that, but we'll get those results in just a moment as well. We haven't talked about the grinders a whole lot just yet, Dave. Crossing over to what's happening with the Open for the Seas. Let's take a look at the current standings for the time splits as they come in. And it is going to be X-Force, like still, herd of trusty steeds. The grinders here, who we're looking at right now, are ahead of their brother team here, 3506, 3510. The dogs have fallen backwards, actually. Where did the potato? Is that a potato?
Look at
Or is that
that.
potato?
Potato, right? Pataxo, which yeah. So right now, Nathan, they are tied actually, fourth and fifth at 35-10. Only 4 seconds of now. Look at this. TFC X-Force in at 34-29. They don't have much of a buffer. It's only 2 seconds back to the herd of trusty steeds there. We got ourselves one heck of a bike race as the Rowdy Rhinos sitting at 5 seconds back. Here we go, Nathan. Absolute barn burner going on right now on Greatest London Flat.
There's stuff up for
3
grabs
teams,
here.
5 seconds? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, and the grinders and the dogs are battling out between each other right now on course because you can see 83-81. I mean, this is it right here, coming to the line. If they can put a little bit of time between, they've got to close some things down here between them and the Rhinos. The Rhinos faded though, Dave, a little bit. Did they go a little too hard? Because the Rhinos were at the top at one point. Interesting.
Yeah, no, that's a great point, Nathan, is that's going to be the scheduling that we talk so much about. They went out a little bit hard. Now they're paying a price, and it is really hard to recover out here. So if they can hold on to third, that's going to be, I would hope that they could, with that advantage being 32 seconds, but you never know because the Dirty Grinders that we're following right, why am I only seeing 3 grinders?
Ben continues to struggle to stay on. They were pushing the pace. They came around the corner, and the front runner, that would be Mike. No, not Mike. Brent. Brent was absolutely smashing the pedals. Ben was struggling to hang on for a moment there. So here we go. Ben's got to get back into that draft. But here's the thing. The moment you lose the draft, the TT bikes are a little bit different, that they are so fast. You don't get the same coefficients all the time with the CDA changes with these bikes. And so falling off the back, we talked about this in the podcast this past week, falling off the back of these situations, they are absolutely, you have to have a tail. You got to give him a tail here, and they're going to do it. He's just barely going to grab. Look at this. Perfect. Look at that. Barris, the way he's given this little bit of a dragon tail, just enough. There's a draft now. Bam. And they don't have to slow down too much. Continue on to the front. Now he's going to roll through. And the rider he just gave that draft to is going to get the other 2 riders. Now, hopefully he doesn't roll through. They all get up to speed now and hold on to Barris's wheel as he pushes forward. That was very well done.
That was quite impressive there. He got his teammate back on rights. He's back to the front now. They'll tighten this up a little bit. Barris is the strong man of this team, showing exceptional ability out there right now.
And the 200 IQ coming in there as well. Not just the strong, but I mean, that IQ... that move was just awesome.
That was perfection, poetry in motion, but they need to stay focused now. They're right back where they were here with Ben struggling off the back again. So all of that work. And
man. He was looking for the reprieve, and there was a little let up on the pedals for a second there, perhaps. Or just not able. Well, no. Ben, yep, he's off the back again. Good call there, Dave. I didn't notice. Oh, man. Got to get to the line. You need 4.
Now Barris is like, Barris must feel like Lassie going to the well over and over to rescue little Jimmy, right? He's like, all right, I'll go get him again. But we got to keep Ben up here with us.
That show? How many people have watched that show? I want to know that are watching the broadcast.
Let me know in chat. Years old.
Let me know in chat who understood.
I don't even know that I've ever watched it, Nathan. I'm strictly working on a meme.
Let me know those who know what Dave was just talking about.
Yeah.
Going back to the well. Oh, man. Love it. So we're going to go split screen here for a second.
So here we go. This is where I'd like to see them keep the team together for the next 100 meters, and they can go enjoy a beer at the bar.
Well, I don't know. Cal's like, forget it, guys. Cal's like, forget it. He's just like, you guys, I don't know what you're doing. I'm off here. See you later. Catch me if you can.
I'm going to go finish. They can take the time off the third wheel. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Right.
He's like, I'm sick of this, boys. This is one of those situations where the passive aggressiveness is coming through the pedals, perhaps. But Ben's going to make it. Good job, Ben. Grinders make it happen. They had a great roll, actually. Let's go over to Brazil. What's happening here?
Renato. That certainly sounds like Brazil. You got it. As look at all those beautiful Brazilian flags here. This is going to be ZTBR as the Zwift team Brazil. Where are they on our? Oh, they're having a good day. This is the Pataxo team that we're talking about, 35-10. They were tied with 30 Dogs sitting right there, threatening to find their way. Well, tied virtually to be in the top 5. They can even find their way up into the top 4 with a solid finish here. There's the line. This one's done and dusted. Don't worry about that rider dangling off the back. Time will come out of this group.
That's actually Josh from the Grinders. Josh from the Grinders, like sprinting to the line. Actually,
like, don't worry about me. I have nothing to do with this.
Great job, Josh. Great job,
Just
Josh.
a dude in a pink skin suit in London riding around.
I mean, that's what. Have you ever been to London? That's just what happens in London.
Yeah, you see it everywhere you go.
Everywhere you go, pink skin suits.
Can't avoid it.
Nope. Yep. Okay, so we're going to be looking at the Epic Vixies finishing up their race over in the ladies. This is going to be one of the last ones we're going to see from the ladies in this C category as they finish up. Great job to the Epic Vixies for that Velocity Vixen team in general. I think they may be the last ones across the line, actually. If I look backwards, we just have a few riders who may have been dropped off and did their job here with HTRL, Epic Vixies, a couple other here from the Epic Vixies. So great job to all the ladies out here. We'll get your results in just a moment, as most have finished up. The Dino Sassysaurus is just coming in with their time split. Great job to them as they came in, just behind ATP Racing Beehive. Is there 2 Beehives actually out there?
No, well, there's no. It's ATP Swarm, ATP Hive, and ATP Beehive.
Yeah, okay.
We're the 3.
Got it. So there's a hive and there's a beehive. So there's 2 separate
which would
ones.
be confusing.
Oh, well, herd mentality just crossing the line on the men's side of things.
Which team are you on? The Hive? No, we're the Beehive. So the Hive. Oh, boy.
The Beehive.
Right.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
All right, here we go for the Rhinos. Great job on them. They're about to cross the line as well. This is the nuclear Rhinos that we're looking at, not to be confused with the
Rapid Rhinos?
The Rapid Rhinos. Not to be confused with the Rapid Rhinos. Correct. As the Rapid... Rowdy. Nope, Rowdy. I think there were Rapid ones, though, at one point.
Well, yeah.
I swear we had Rapid Rhinos at one point, though.
Oh, we do. I think it sounds too good to not be real. So they're part of...
not be real. I love that.
But these are nuclear Rhinos that you've got on your screen.
See, in the world of Zwift and our streams, there isn't too good to be true. It's when it sounds too good, it has to be real. That's how it works around here. When only things that sound really good are real here. Just so you know.
I've seen multiple things that came from our world that I'm not sure where it started, like the no drama llamas, right? 6 months later, there's a television commercial in the United States that talks about no drama llamas.
See?
So I'm always wondering, did they
Next
learn
thing you know,
that
we're going to have some
us,
sassy sources out there too.
Right.
You know, there's going to be dinos, they're going to be sassy, and they're going to sell lipstick. That's what's coming. You know it's coming. Watch.
Art imitating life.
If there's a commercial in the future with dinos, lipstick, and sassy, and they're selling it, I mean, you know somebody's getting all their ideas from this Zwift community over here.
It would make sense, wouldn't it? Tap into the incredible creativity of Zwift Community Live for your marketing needs.
Oh my gosh, Dave, hold on a second. We were right. We were right. Hold on a second. Like, I love it. So we're being told that the Rapid are actually over in the B League. Boom. Rapid are in. That's right from the horse's mouth right there, or the rhino's mouth.
From King Rhino.
King Rhino in the in the chat. The big horn.
Or Queen Rhino. Yeah. No, but I've always loved the Rhino. What would you even call that? Rhino Nation, I guess. I've identified with for a long time. So, well.
Clowat. What is CLOWAT?
Crushing limits 1 watt at a time.
Love it. Love it. Crushing the 65 beats per minute. This guy's crushing every limit there is. He's got to have a malfunctioning heart rate monitor, even if that was that's
he's crushing his poor teammate as well.
Ackerman.
But that's all
The
right.
whole team. The whole team is like across the board here. Come on. Got to keep things together.
I'm Clowatted out at this point. Completely crushed every last watt I've got. Here comes Bick and the Zed Sun R.
Loving the
I hear you're saying
commentary.
Z Sun now, by the way.
Zed Sun. I'm saying
Okay.
Zed Sun. Yeah, I'm really messed up now. Anna's wrecked me.
Anna's got in your head, man. Yeah. Anna got in your head. Yeah.
Ugh. So Joe Chrisman, good to see you. Great action to finish the season 1. Getting ready for America's West DS. Taco Watts, good to see you. Good job out there. And glad that you're getting ready to DS for your team. Always. You know, your profile looks like a archer that is a muskrat or something along those lines. Some sort of a.
Would that be considered, this coming from an old guy? Is that anime?
Yeah, something along. It's kind of
in that world,
in that
right?
world, fantasy anime type world. Yes, like some sort of not a Pokemon, but a like new Pokemon world.
Feel slightly more in touch.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
But that's definitely not a Taco or Watts. That's an animal with a bow. Maybe Narnia even, but
that's not Narnia. I can tell you that.
Well, it's not Narnia. No, I know it's not Narnia, but it, like something that looks Narnia. Like. No, you're right. It has nothing. No, I'm not saying it has anything to do with Narnia, but beavers with bows. I mean, like
there you
come
go.
on,
that's
like,
something that one might see in Narnia.
In Narnia,
goats
that's
with
what
hats and stuff, right?
Okay, word. Are we broadcasting a race? I don't know what's happening anymore. Here we go.
Well, luckily the race is for all effective purposes over here now. So. We've had a great season.
Tell that to Krumel. Krumel doesn't believe that. I don't
He's
think
like, what?
This race ain't over for this guy. 305 watts, 161 beats per minute. Somehow they have a Clowatt in amongst them, though. Somehow one of these guys is in. What is going on here? Is this like a?
And he's effectively working with the team now.
No.
So.
I'm actually wondering if this is a bunch of guys who all got dropped from their team. And they're all just like gruppettoing it to the line.
Right.
Because we got Sky High, Clowatt, NDW6, and Krumel in here. So
every one of these guys is from a different team. This is a first time I've ever seen any. So either this is an all-star team that formed during the middle of the race, or these guys have just decided they're going to get some team time trial practice in out here today. Or maybe both.
I've never seen it if that's what was happening there.
It looks like they're racing to the line too, which is interesting. Like if you put them all in the same kit, you would have thought
that was... Only in the C category. Oh man.
That's actually bizarre.
I've literally never seen that before.
Yeah.
Where like the teams usually they fight with each other about like, get off our wheel, don't stop messing with us. Why are you messing with the lineup? These guys were like, hey, what's up, man?
Can't be here.
Join the train. Let's go. Get in the car. Choo-choo. Like, they were like, let's go. Love it. Huh.
Flores.
They're probably the team, and we like are just making this whole thing up.
It's something. Yeah. Right. Well, that's what a team generally looks like. This is 6 riders together for Zed Sun Bojo.
Yeah, the Bojo team. This I said. I knew I saw this name in the pens.
Right.
There they are. We got Aaron, we got Dean, we got Peets, we got Peltzer, we got Pride, we got Gardner. All making it happen here for Bojo. All still together. Nice job, 6. Holding on to the line.
Not many teams finished with 6 out here today, and they're in a solid formation as well. A little over 1K to go here to wrap up season 1, 23-24. 6 of the 16,300 athletes that we had, this unique athletes this season.
Take a quick
big
look
group
at
of folks.
How things have gone so far as we're finishing up. There it is, Dave. TFC X-Force at the top.
Yeah, and another only less than 10 seconds separating our top 2. Very, very close even for our top 3. And the Rowdy Rhinos did hold on out there. But let's go to the top of the table to pick up these results for the TFC X-Force. A big win to wrap up the season. They made a lot of watts to do it as well. And second today, Herd of Trusty Steeds. It's going to be RR Rowdy Rhinos on the 6th and second team time trial of the season. They'll end up third. It was Dirty Dogs for fourth. Very close here between fourth and fifth is the Brazilians there for ZTBR Pataxo. Just, what is that, 2.5 seconds off of fourth in fifth out there today. Dirty Grinders in sixth.
Whoa, Dave. Can I interrupt you for just 1 sec? I'm
Sure.
sorry, Dave, but I just want to highlight this. Look at the standings right here, okay? And look at this. Talk about the dogs really chasing after the bone toward the end there. I mean, what? Holy cow.
Going from fifth
35
to second.
Like, they from fifth to fourth, but the Grinders falling back there, and ZTBR putting themselves in the middle of it all. Like, this is a big change up in that last 24K to the finish line. That last 6K is so crucial. We are seeing this over and over again.
Yeah, the teams that scheduled and paced it right, it really pays off there, doesn't it? So Dirty Grinders in sixth, our Nuclear Rhinos in seventh, Herd Mentality for eighth, Zed Thunderdome in ninth, Dirty Watts Sky High in 10th, and Kilowatt there, Crushing Limits 1 watt at a time in 11th. After racing out here.
Nice. Great job. Herd finishing it up with a couple of riders. Vilos is here. Farada, Muniz, Torkins, Erancibia, all here. I hope I got those pronunciations correct. But and Erdina, all for this team. Good to see. 187. Flores on the front right now. And I think this is a lady or a young lady. I'm being told. Pretty awesome to see.
Chilean.
Yeah. Carlos Flores for the Condors in A1 has his daughter out there smashing the pedals. Great job. Awesome to see in the C category. Probably hanging out in the same house, side by side, father, daughter. That's it's so cool. That is so cool.
That really is cool. And
I am this is a good almost in tears. Like that's so awesome. I'm a parent of 2 daughters, and how cool is that? Like, yeah, I love it.
I understand.
Absolutely love it.
So that's a good example of our open category, why we don't call it men's, as she's the perfect example of that.
Exactly.
Always have to remember. I mean, and it's always worth it too, Nathan, to take the time if you're watching an open race to see, are there any women in this field? More often than not, there are.
Truth, 100%. More often there.
By the way, our friend Rachel is going to the Paralympics. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I saw Eric Min actually reposted a post that was put together by her partner Glenn Knight in order to, who is KISS Racing Team, one of the starters of the KISS Racing Team, as well as one of the first, Glenn Knight,
one of the original people in this
the reason Zwift Power exists is partially James Hodges, Glenn Knight, and a few others like Christian Weidman. I mean, these are the people who, when it comes to back end work, put it together so that the existence of Zwift racing was tracked in any way whatsoever. We wouldn't have it without them. And now Rachel is the partner of Glenn Knight through another awesome kind of Zwift tandem story. And she's going to World Championships, it looks like. So cool to see.
Or even I think I don't want to speak out of school, but I thought they may have qualified for the Paralympics.
Was it Paralympics? Is that what was going on? I'm sorry.
So.
Maybe I got that incorrect.
I believe so.
Okay.
Which, I mean, yeah, and Worlds is awesome. But I think the Olympics have something even a little more magical for her. It's just
Every
a great
4
story
years,
coming
gold
about.
Medal. Oof, that's there's something special.
She can win a medal. And listen, what we've seen from her, I think you'd be crazy to bet against her.
Yeah, big favorite there, I would say. Big favorite.
She's
hard to
amazing.
go against her when it comes to Paralympics there in that space. I think that she is such an engine. I think
so committed.
The driver just has to point and shoot, and I think that Stoker is going to make that tandem go nuts. Like, seriously.
Yeah, if they can just keep the bike from upright, Rachel will get you there.
Exactly.
That's
So
extremely cool. Hey, here's
very
a
cool.
man you were talking about, the TikTok person, Danny
he
Enzo,
is he
in
is
front of
the Zwift TikTok person,
TikTok person.
100%. I'm pretty
Yes.
sure he's live on TikTok right now while also being live on Twitch. This guy gets like on TikTok, he gets somewhere between 100 to like 2,000 live viewers watching him Zwift. It's insane. Like the TikTok people love the Zwifting stories that he puts together here. And this is him smashing right now, doing a great job. 300 watts. He's been really working on his kick to the line as well. We'll see if he can beat his teammates to the line, although he's probably going to be throwing down probably as much
What
as
is
he
that
possibly can just to
flag?
hold on. What is that flag? Good call there.
Stephen A. I'll do some investigating here.
Let us know, Dave. For sure. And as we finish up the C category here.
So that's
Yeah, go ahead.
Stephen Almanzar, and it's the Dominican Republic's flag that he is
Really?
racing under. Yeah, very cool. Don't know. I'm surprised that that flag would stand out to me as so unique because I would have thought I would have seen that before.
Yeah,
I must
same
have and just
here.
didn't
Same
Yeah.
here. That actually surprised me that it's the Dominican Republic because I felt I would know that flag. Huh.
Now we do, Nathan. So accomplished. Check another box next to learning out here tonight.
Well, great job to the
I think we
coalition team.
learned more in the evening broadcast than the afternoon broadcast.
Yeah,
The afternoon broadcast, we emoted a lot of opinions.
Good point there. I think a lot of that was happening, which we need to clarify. Only opinions. So
Right. I am not a physicist.
Nice little kick here, or a psychologist from Danny Enzo. I'm not a psychologist either. Danny Enzo to the line. 172 beats per minute. It's going to be Stephen A. here from Coalition from the Dominican Republic, holding on to his wheel. Landau, ZTR, and LaBelle. They need that third, though. As Enzo kicks it up, LaBelle's going to be the last one. Nice job. The Rhinos here with a straggler going to be crossing the line. EXN, this is going to be the last team to finish it up. Out here today for our C category to finish out our Zwift Racing League round number 1 as EXN crosses the line. Great job to them. Finish it up for us here with Hagen, Sullivan, Sherwood, Moore, and Cruff. Going to be our last racer in this C category for Division 1 in America's East. Nice job to you guys and gals here, all in this C category for our coverage. We already went over the results, actually, so I think ATP Racing Hive, though, it's the only place we need to take a look at yet. Well, excuse me, not ATP Racing Hive, but what happened between the hives, the synergies, and etc. Because I don't think we take a look at this yet with it completely filled in just yet, Dave. You want to take us through these, and then we'll wrap us up for the night.
Well, I hate to throw a wet towel over it, Nathan, but Coalition did exactly what they needed to do, didn't they? They ended up in second today. They showed tremendous heart. But the top of the table, that's ATP Racing Hive. They get it done with a 46-41, but it ends up only being squeaking out a 9-second victory there. Coalition Eclipse shows why they've been riding at the top of the table all season long. ATP Racing Swarm gave it a really good go out there trying to help out their ATP Racing family. They'll end up in third. Synergy Ignite, solid ride today. 125 back for fourth. Herd of Otters ended up in fifth. Aeonian Super Chicas in sixth. AHDRL, that's the Australian Hump Day Ride Ladies Cherry Bombs team, in seventh. ATP Racing Beehive in eighth. Dino Sassosaurus in ninth. And then Epic Vixies rounding out our top 10. Great season of racing, ladies.
Absolutely awesome. Great job across the board. Just a quick little reminder. This is the final broadcast of the ZRL round 1, but we will have round 2 coming at you real quick. There we go. Sorry about that, everybody. There we are. I don't know what I pushed a button that I have no idea what
that's never happened before. 3.5 years of doing this, and that has never happened. I was worried.
Yeah, I don't know what that I have no idea what that button just did, honestly. Like, I don't know, like all of a sudden it just started blinking red.
Doomsday button.
That's the doomsday
all of a sudden
button.
It just goes black. And I don't like
Uh,
that doomsday button,
wait,
Nathan,
did everything go black for you? Is that what
on my
happened?
end.
Oh my
For me, it
goodness.
did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That
Yeah.
is the doomsday button. I don't know what that, like, I thought it was just, anyways, the interesting productions there. That was interesting. So, okay.
It's
Thanks
been
everybody
a,
for, go ahead, Dave. Go ahead.
as you say, it's been a crazy day, but I do just want to say it turns out there's 16,300 folks that have raced. I didn't realize it was that many. Thanks to each and every one of you. We've had a tremendous experience covering this racing. It's been a blast. I feel like we've gotten to meet a whole lot of new friends. So I'm already stoked for the next season, Nathan. And a big thank you to you as well for all your hard work and awesome attitude.
I think that also went to black for everyone else too.
Oh, did it? Okay.
I think
Well,
well, like for
sorry about
for the
that.
stream as well. Yeah, sorry about that, everybody. It's so great. So like we just like FTB is fade to black, and I think that is I pushed the FTP button, but I didn't know it meant fade to black. And so it
Yeah.
just went boom. And Joe Crispin's coming in saying end of season 1, fade to black. Like I'm talking and boom, it just goes away. Like, well, thanks everybody for tuning in. Again, November 14th, I believe, I think I'm quoting that correctly, is going to be the kickoff day for round number 2. But we will have broadcasts on Tuesday between now and the start of Zwift Racing League round number 2. Make sure to head over to ZwiftCommunityLive.com to get updates on everything that we are broadcasting. We'll have SDR tomorrow. We are obviously going to be not covering live, but we will have coverage after the Zwift Grand Prix about what went down at the Zwift Grand Prix. I'll be racing it. Gabriella, my wife, will also be racing it. There'll be plenty of the Zwift Grand Prix riders as well live on Twitch, so you got plenty to watch on Thursday. We're going to wrap it all up on the Wrap Podcast, our episode 66 this Thursday. So lots going on here at Zwift Community Live. Wherever you like to follow, make sure to hit that subscribe button, like, comment, subscribe. It helps us out a ton. But and also, we do have a couple of goals that we're shooting for when it comes to those subscriber goals, specifically on YouTube. Really thank you to everybody that has been subscribing, because it has been absolutely awesome to see the growth of the community so that you're getting those notifications and you can stay involved in everything that we are doing. So, Dave, been a lot of fun. Round number 1. Got any wrap up? Like, we've had the TTT today, but as like a whole for round number 1 and looking forward to round number 2, I think, at least for me, I feel like we're just getting started. Like that was the September racing and October racing.
Yeah,
We're in early fall. So it'll be interesting to see where we go.
Yeah, and I mean, we're seeing that on our Tour of Watopia rides. Almost every field is over 100 at this point. So the only thing I'd like to say, other than some real gratitude to everybody that races here and watches our Zwift Community Live broadcast, is keep the communication channels open. We love hearing from you guys. I want to even redouble on those efforts, as telling your stories is a true joy for us. So whether you're an A, B, C, or D rider, don't be shy. Reach out, connect. You'll be surprised at how accessible I think both of us are, to tell you the truth, Nathan. Yeah. So, yeah, jump in, get in the mix. If you're not already racing, again, don't be shy. Go to WTRL.racing, get a team together, and come join us. You're missing out on some real fun and connectivity if you're not.
Yep. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. As always, from me and Dave, we'll see you real soon. Tomorrow, actually, SCR Racing still happening on Wednesdays from both of us, though. We'll see you tomorrow. And as always, ride on.
Let them see your perfect imperfections. Don't hide from bad feeling, 'cause they just want your words. I won't let them take me. No, I won't let them break me. No one on this earth can bring me down. Now I'm standing tall. I will never fall. Concentrate on 'cause they just want your